Thus far in these playoffs, the Buffalo Sabres have done just about everything right. The Dominator has dominated. The Checkers have been absolutely smothering in their coverage. And the scoring has been timely and devastating to the Ottawa Senators. The visitors need a victory tonight, or they can officially kiss Canada's national game goodbye until next season. That eventuality will sit just fine with Buffalo. Buffalo Sabres fans are anticipating the conquering of the Senators in 4 straight games and celebrating outside the Marine Midland Arena and inside the pavilion. And inside the arena itself, the teams prepare to face off in game number 4 of the best-of-7 series. Hello, everybody. I'm Rick Jenner, along with Jim Lorenz and Danny Gare. Well, the folks in Buffalo think that this series is going to be a sweep, but there are 20 humans wearing Buffalo Sabres uniforms that know it's not all that easy.
No, it will not be an easy hockey game. I think Ottawa will play their best game of the series here tonight, and it will take everything that Buffalo can give for them to defeat them. But, you know, there's an old saying, when you have the opposition's head on the block, you swing the axe. Last year, Buffalo swung it twice. They eliminated the Philadelphia Flyers in 4 games, then eliminated Montreal in 4 games. They know what has to be done.
I think that we have to attack right off the start. I think we can't sit back and play overly cautious. I don't think we can go out there and try not to lose. I think we have to go and show right off the bat that we want to win the game.
Well, there was some concern about the way Václav Varada performed in the latter stages of the season. Boy, he sure cleaned up his act in the playoffs, hasn't he?
Well, he played great the last game, game 3 in this building. And I said in game 1 of the series that sooner or later he was going to catch up to Yashin and get under his skin. It happened the last game. Yashin took 2 penalties on Varada. 1 led to a huge Buffalo power play goal. And the Sabres, of course, won that game 3-0. And the frustration continues for Alexei Yashin.
Well, somebody has to emphasize with him, though. I mean, on one side, he's got Varada running around after him. On the other side, here comes Michael Pekka.
Well, Michael Pekka, I think, is the best checker in the game. When you give him an assignment and you say, I want you to cover so-and-so, he'll do it. And not only does he do it defensively, look at this, 4 points in the series. That leads all scorers. And Alexei Yashin, his counterpart, still looking for his first point and still being I shouldn't say handily, but being controlled by that Pekka line.
Well, the Sabres are going with Dominik Hasek. He's gone all the way through the series. The Senators are going back with their goaltender from game 1.
Well, Dominik Hasek has just been sensational in this series. The save percentage incredible. A .975. He stopped 116 of 119 shots. In game 1 of the series, he won the game for Buffalo against Ron Tugnutt, who will start tonight for Ottawa. He allowed 2 goals, Tugnutt did, on 15 shots. I said at the beginning that one of the weak links of the Ottawa Hockey Club is their goaltending, and so far that has been one factor.
Well, let's check in with Danny Gare now. He's with assistant coach Mike Ramsey. Danny.
Mike, with your team up 3-0 in the series, they always say game 4 is the toughest one to win. How do you approach this game tonight, and what did you tell your players?
Well, I know that sounds like an old cliche, but it really is, because the other team's back's to the wall, and they'll be very desperate tonight. We basically told our players play like we have the last 2 games. We are not changing anything. We're losing Miro tonight. And we lose 40 goals, and that hurts us a little bit, but we're replacing him with Dean Sylvester, and he's had a hot hand in Rochester of late, so hopefully maybe he'll continue tonight.
Good luck to you.
Thank you.
There's been 1 overtime game so far in this series. It was 5 years ago tonight. The Sabres defeated the New Jersey Devils in the 6th longest overtime game in playoff history. Xerox starting goaltenders tonight. Ron Tugnutt performed in game number 1 in Ottawa in this series. He was the loser 2-1, and he gets back between the pipes here tonight after Damian Rhodes played the last 2 games. Dominik Hasek has gone all the way for the Buffalo Sabres. And That may be the truth right through until the Sabres complete their playoff experience this year. That goals against average .86 coming into tonight's action. 2 referees again, of which Don Koharski will face off the puck. He's one, Mick Magoo the other. Pierre Rasico and Mark Wheeler are working the lines, and game number 4 is underway here at the Marine Midland Arena. Hasek slowing it down for Zhitnik. Peels off in the corner to get away from Hossa. And Hasek starts away up on the wing to Barnes. Barnes flipping it in over the line. Knocked down, kept into Primo. He took a shot, and Tugnut grabs that one.
Now, what a great play by Buffalo to break out of the zone. As Alex Zhitnik going back there making a neat play, passing the puck up the boards, and Buffalo moved into the Ottawa zone. Our scratches for tonight, Miroslav Shatan, because of that bruised foot, not playing. Sanderson with a bruised thumb or hand, not playing. Grand Pierre, Rob Ray, and Daryl Shannon, healthy scratches. And for Jacques Martin, Chris Gartner has a bad foot. He's out for the season. Picklick with a groin problem. Devers, Martin, etc. Healthy scratches.
Out to center. Schmelik going back after the puck, whipping it up on the wing. Barnes chopping it in and getting away from a check. It's sent around behind the net. Senators coming up. Oh, Primo got taken up behind the net, but it's cleared back through center ice. Picked up by Bonk. Bonk drills it across ice. There's nobody home. Hasek coming way to the net to send it out to center again. Kravchuk recovering for Ottawa. Buffalo trying to complete a change here. Kravchuk reels one through the middle, and that skips down the ice into the corner where McKee feeds it around the boards to Rasmussen. Rasmussen tipped it, and it's going to slide into Ottawa territory, and it's coming back icy.
Well, I thought 2 players played that puck up along the boards, but I guess not. And it goes icing and a faceoff coming back in the Buffalo zone. Of course, talking to head coach Lindy Ruff this morning, what he was happy about with his hockey club. Game 3 was the best game that they played, but he said the work ethic of our team has improved every game. And he said, I'm worried about everything. He said, I'm worried about special teams, about refereeing, right down the line. And Jacques Martin, he wants his club to play like they did in game 1. He said that was our best game of the series. He tried to relax his team for the last day or so.
You know, with all due respect, I think Jacques has a few more worries at the moment than Lindy does.
He's got a bag full of worries, doesn't he? Down 3 games to none. And, of course, all the cliches were ringing around the Marine Midland Arena today. Taking one day at a time, one game at a time.
Back to the point, long shot, skipped off into the corner. Brown trying to tie up this man. Comes up with the puck, didn't get it out. McKinnon's shot is right on, and Hasek giving it to Junot. Junot feeds it through center. Up on the wing, Grosek trying to catch up with it. He falls. Puck underneath him momentarily. Brown gets it in over the line. Here's Brown spinning into the corner. Trying to cut around behind the net. Brown drops it back in the other direction. Taken away by Salo. Salo dumped one through center and all the way down the ice. Warner back after it, icing Ottawa.
Well, Ottawa Senator Jacques Martin has switched his lines again. He's taken McEachran away from Yashin. That's what he did in the 3rd period of game 3. And Yashin comes out onto the ice now with Johansson and Dackel, I believe. But Buffalo with an opportunity. Curtis Brown tipping the puck around the defenseman, Igor Kravchuk. And Brown just could not cut to the front of the net. That's what he wanted to do. But he was cut off by the opposition. And give Ottawa credit on that play. It was Kravchuk actually who got back to cut off Brown. Good coverage in front of the Ottawa net, and Brown had nowhere to pass the puck.
Back to the point it comes, held in by Buffalo, scooped in by Zhitnik, and drilled right across the ice. Ward picks it up. He fires one that goes wide of the net. Squeezed around on the other side, and it's chucked out by Johansson. Getting it off the boards. Shot right back in again as it hit the referee and never cleared the zone. Now work to the blue line and out to center ice. Pekka racing after it. Here's Pekka in over the line. Pekka spinning around, looking for the trailer. Came in front of the net. Schmelik didn't get his shot on. Schmelik's got it again. Hit the outside of the net. Picked up by Ward. Ward turning around. Ward put it right on. Tugnut kicks it away. Schmelik keeping it in there again. Sending it in for Verada too far. Lokinen can't get it out. Ward finally lost it, and it's tapped out to center ice. And Johansson and Verada are really laying the lumber on each other, and that escaped both referees. Schmelik starting out. Pumped up high in the air as far as center ice. Scooped off the boards by Cruz. Sylvester took a run at his check and failed to connect. Dean Sylvester up for his first NHL playoff game from Rochester for Buffalo. Up on the wing, it deflects to the blue line and out to center by Sylvester. Senators getting it right back again. Scooped ahead, knocked down by Schmelik, stolen away by Redden. Redden working it ahead. Donato flipped it in, and then Donato got the lumber up on Sylvester. Chopped around on the boards again, and Sylvester and Donato are still clashing. Ends up going all the way down the ice. Tugnutt plays it back there. Senators to bring it away to center ice again. Bonk, he left it there. Taken away by Sylvester. Dumps it right back in. Heads off on a change. 3 minutes have gone here on a scoreless first period. Salo slipping one to center ice. That's broken up. Barnes drops it back. Patrick, he'll get it to center ice. That's knocked down, and away goes Rasmussen. Rasmussen pitches shot, blocked by Salo. Salo coming up with it behind the net. Got it around to the boards. Primo trying to keep it in there. It's knocked down, swept to center ice. Rasmussen scooping it across to Warner. Warner throwing it right back in again. Tugnutt got out in time to give it to Salo. Pumped around on the board. Barnes trying to keep it in there. Kicking at it again. Warner's long shot right on. And that screen shot made its way all the way to Tugnutt, who hangs on to it. Still, there is no score here in the first.
Tonight for Buffalo, Dean Sylvester playing his first NHL playoff game. The Rochester Americans handily won the first round of their playoffs against Adirondack 3-0. And Sylvester with the 3 goals and an assist.
Senators, Kravchuk getting it as far as center ice. Picked out of the air by Brown. Brown checked by Prospel, but Buffalo getting it right back again. McKee to Warner. Warner takes a look. Tried to feed it through center ice. Tap back in the other direction. Warner has to chase after it again. Prospel's on him. Got around on the board. Scoop, but not out. McKeckern keeping it in. Prospel batted in front. That's knocked down. A shot, and it deflects into the corner. Warner can't get it out of there as he flattens Prospel and sends it off the boards by Kravchuk and into Ottawa territory. Phillips recovering for the Senators to Kravchuk. Kravchuk squeezes a pass as far as center ice. Albertson could not get away. Sabres starting back. Brown's pass, getting it up on the wing. Barada bouncing off Phillips, goes after it in the corner. He gets knocked down by Phillips, sent around to the boards. Kicked in there, however, by Buffalo. Schmelik trying to work it into the corner. Sent all the way around on the other side to Pekka. Got back to the point, it went to center ice. Up to Pekka again. Pekka will scoop it in over the line. The Senators come up with it on a delayed offside, but they'll clear it away to Johansson. Johansson turning at his own blue line. Now fired one through the middle and over the line. Here's a chance for Ottawa right in front of the net. The shot! Hasek makes the save, and it hangs on. And then some pushing and shoving going on in there, and there's going to be a penalty coming up against Buffalo.
No, Alexei Yashin gets in behind the Buffalo defense. One of the few times in this series that he's had a clean scoring chance on Dominik Hasek. And Alexei Zhitnik, I believe, is going to go to the penalty box. Dackel was right with Yashin, but Dominik Hasek, great piece of goaltending. He waited until the last instant and then made the move on Yashin. Yashin ended up shooting the puck into the pads of Hasek and Zhitnik's in the penalty box. A face-off coming up here to the left of the Buffalo goaltender.
And the Ottawa Senators, who have scored all the goals they have in this series on the power play, get the first opportunity of the night.
That's 3 goals that they have in this series. And Yashin stays out there at center. And it's Juneau and Pekka.
Scoop to the boards. Warner tying up his man. Yashin coming over to help out. Pekka took it away. Pekka to the line. Didn't get it out. Kept in there. Now swung back around behind the net. Hasek slows it down. Tried to scoop it into the corner. Deflects back to the point. Kept in by Redden to Kravchuk. Kravchuk for Alfredson. Alfredson holding it in. Working down low. Got it right beside the net. Came right out in front. Kicked away. Chopped to the blue line. Not out. Salo holding it in. Comes it around behind the net to McKeckern again. McKeckern looking. Feeds it off into the corner. Alfredson's got it there. Back to Kravchuk. He fanned on his shot. Got another chance. Came in front of the net. Alfredson's shot goes across ice, but not out. Now Juneau pumped it out over the blue line. Buffalo trying to make some changes here. Senators bringing it right back again. Sliding in over the line is Alfredson. Alfredson got it back to the point. Pekka steals it away, sends it down the ice, and Koharski got flattened by Johansson coming off the Ottawa bench. The referee, Don Koharski, bounces right back onto his feet, however. A minute left in the Senators' power play. Comes as far as center ice, taken away by Brown. Ottawa regaining possession. Prospo leaving it to Redden. Up on the wing, Johansson. Johansson sails one wide of the net into the corner. Schmelik cupping in there with his check. Schmelik knocks it free, but they can't get it out. Kept in by the Senators to the point. The long shot. Hasek makes the save. In front of the net, they scoop at it again. Holzinger ripping it right into the Buffalo bench.
Now, Richard Schmelik made an outstanding play back in the corner to the left of the goaltender, and Brian Holzinger ended up with the puck, could not clear the zone, and you cannot continue to give Ottawa second chances in your own end of the rink. Pekka and Junot were guilty of that early in the penalty when they failed to clear it. Richard Schmelik has been an absolute tower of strength in this series. The one-on-one battle wins it again, gets it to Holzinger, but Brian Holzinger could not clear the puck from the zone. So face-off coming up here at the top of the circle to the left of Hasek. No score in the game.
Yashin against Barnes. Half a minute to go on the Buffalo penalty. First penalty of the game. Barnes kicking away at the puck, but the Senators keep it in. Dropped off now to McEachern. He gets checked. It bobbles its way to the blue line and will be recovered by Ward. Ward trying to flip it ahead. It was knocked down by Redden. Ward steals it back. Ward trying to flip it ahead. Finally worked it to Barnes, and Barnes drifts it right into the Ottawa bench this time. And it's a good thing Damian Rhodes is dressed for the occasion, because he almost took that one in the coconut.
Well, he was ready for it with the trapper on, but Stu Barnes killing the last part of this penalty along with Dixon Ward. Now, Dixon Ward, because of the great penalty killing ability of Joe Junot, has lost his position up there with Michael Pekka for the most part on killing penalties, but he will remain on the ice now with Pekka because just 14 seconds left in Zhipnik's penalty. Zhipnik will go to the bench and Verada will come onto the ice. Yashin still on the ice for Ottawa.
McEachern gets it through center ice. Yashin swings it in over the Buffalo line. Alfredson trying to catch up with it in the corner. Patrick took it away, didn't get it out. Redden keeping it in to the other side. A York quick shot by Yashin goes wide. Buffalo back at full strength. Pekka hooks it high to center ice. It's scooted across ice again. Sabres are making more changes. Redden starting back. He launches one into the corner. Set around behind the net. Ottawa maintaining possession, working it around Arvidsson. He gets checked, goes after it again. Arvidsson back to the point. That's knocked down. And it's banked back through center ice. Phillips tipping it ahead. Ottawa with a pass up to Hossa. Recovered by Buffalo, but not out. Bonk keeping it in. Here's Bonk with a shot. Hasek makes the save. And it's fired down the ice by Buffalo right on Tugnutt. And that grants the Sabres the opportunity to complete a change on the D. Phillips slings it to the blue line. Not out. Warner keeping it in to Verada. Verada pumping it down low. Primo trying to catch up with it. Tugnutt spins it around to the board. Warner tried to keep it in, unable to do so. And back after it, McKee flips it ahead. That's recovered by Bonk. Bonk hitting the Buffalo line, just scoops it off into the corner and heads to the bench, and then looks for McKee, who got a piece of him. Up on the wing, Verada sending it through center to Primo. Primo hitting Ottawa territory, getting around Salo. Took his shot. Rebound! Good rebound! They score! Eric Rasmussen gobbling up the rebound, pounding it home, and Buffalo takes a 1-0 lead.
Eric Rasmussen with his first goal of the playoffs, and again, the Buffalo scores the first goal in the series for the 4th consecutive game. What a play by Primo, but it began back in the neutral zone. Primo lugging the puck into the zone. Sammy Salo is a weak link on the Ottawa defense. He could not control Primo. Rasmussen going to the front of the net, jams it home as Nelson Emerson watched him.
Here's Salo back at his own line for Kravchuk. Igor Kravchuk getting center ice now to the Buffalo line. Took his shot, but he's way offside.
And see, there's what happens. Kravchuk trying to do it himself instead of utilizing his teammates and shooting the puck into the zone.
Here's Junot kicking it around behind the Buffalo net. Senators keeping it in there, though. Trying to get the equalizer. Comes out in front, and a quick shot by McEachern ends up on Junot's stick. Junot attempting to gun one through the middle. Brown got a bump at center ice. Ottawa recovering again. Working it ahead to McEachern. That's chipped out of the air and taken back by Zhipnik. Zhipnik Moves it over on the wings. Shoveled it ahead, but he gets taken out. It's back at center ice. Recovered by Junot again. Can't get anywhere. Kicked around on the boards and jammed all the way back to Brown. Brown feeding it to Grosek. Grosek will send it in and head off. And a change. It's rattled around on the boards and picked up by Dackel. Dackel spinning it to Yashin. Yashin poking one to center ice. Too far for Johansson. Buffalo bringing it back again. Cruz in over the line. Got taken out. And it's scooped out to center. And the Ottawa team comes back to Redden. Redden leaving it back there. Pass to Redden again. Trying to get it in front. Great play by McKay. Set around on the boards and flipped out and back into the Ottawa end. This one is just going to make it for icing. Jay McKay with a great defensive play.
What a wonderful play by Jay McKay, who has had such a strong series. And that was not an easy play for him to make. Well, the Buffalo Sabres score first. They've scored the first goal in all 4 games, as I mentioned. Tonight, scored it on the 7th shot. In the first 3 games of the series, they scored the opening goal on the 2nd shot of the game 3 times. What a play by McKee, though, as he anticipated the puck coming to the front of the net, slid, and make sure it never got there. Great defense.
Yashin tries a shot. He hits Pekka. He gets it himself. Took a shot. Dribbled by the net and taken away by Pekka. Pekka trying to get it off the glass and out. Got it to the blue line and forced out by Ward, and he got held up. Now Redden for Yashin. Ward got in front of him again. Ward cocks it free. Gets knocked down. Brought in by Pekka. In front of the net. Here's Verano, the shot, and he scores! Slov Verano, a perfect pass from the captain, and the Sabres have a 2-0 lead.
And again, Pekka, Ward, Verada score against Alexei Yashin line. They have absolutely ate them up this series, and they continue here tonight. A huge goal, the 2-goal lead now in effect for Buffalo. What a play by Dixon Ward, and what a great job Verada did of controlling a backhand pass from Pekka. The puck goes to the legs of Tugnut and trickles into the net. Goaltenders have to make saves when the game is on the line, when it's 1-0, and Tugnut could not do it.
Halfway through the first period, Buffalo has built its lead to a pair.
And Primo is at center with Stu Barnes and Eric Rasmussen. This is a line that got Buffalo going, as Rasmussen scored his first playoff goal. And Tugnut doing a smart thing here. He's trying to slow down the momentum. Yep. He's saying, look, I've got an equipment problem. Very smart move by the goaltender. And he's going to take a sweet time just to try to calm this crowd down and try to calm his hockey club down. And the backup goaltender, Damian Rhodes, who played in games 2 and 3 of this series. Jacques Martin, tough situation again here tonight. He desperately wanted his hockey club to score first. That didn't happen. He wanted them to at least tie the game up. That didn't happen. And the worst thing in the world that could have happened did. Buffalo with a 2-goal lead.
Woolley flipping it ahead. It's Lokinen who chases after it behind his net. Johnny Lokinen. That's by Primo. Rips one out to the center ice, though, to Hossa. Hossa getting it over the line. Got flattened by Woolley. Look around on the boards. Arvidsson gets taken out by Patrick. Spun back into the corner again. They'll jam it on the boards. Hossa keeping it in. Poking at it again. Senators to Hossa. Hossa gets taken off the puck. Patrick feeding it off the glass to the blue line and out to center. Lokinen back after it. Primo chasing him around. Sent across to Phillips. Phillips to Hossa. Hossa whipping a backhand in, and now both teams are starting to make some changes. Patrick, a pass through center. Whoops, that one missed every way. Goes down the ice. Cruz trying to catch up with it. Can't do it, and this will be an icing against Buffalo. Less than 9 to go here in the opening period. The Sabres have jumped out in front by a pair.
Buffalo had 4 players entering the playoffs. Terrible time scoring goals. Verada, Brown, Curtis Brown, Barnes, and Holzinger can stroke 3 of those players off. Verada, who scored tonight. Curtis Brown, the winner in game 1. And Brian Holzinger.
Here's Alfredson. A shot. The rebound just wide of the net. Alfredson's got it again in the corner. Alfredson turning. Sending it back to the point. Salo, a blast. Rebound. Oh, she got a piece of it. Senators keeping it in. Here's McEachern turning. Back to Salo. Another shot goes wide. It's kept in by Kravchuk. He throws it around to the boards. Penalty coming up to Buffalo. And it goes off Schmelik just wide of the net. Ottawa again trying to hold it in and 2. And now Buffalo getting it back. And the Sabres are going to find themselves shorthanded again.
Well, Ottawa just, they have to be shaking their heads thinking, how in the world are we still being shut out in this hockey game after chances like they just had on Dominik Hasek? A penalty for interference is being called on the Senators. And Magoo is pointing to the Buffalo bench. And Shipnick said, is it me? And Magoo said it is.
And
not in those exact words,
no.
But and Shipnick saying, why? What happened?
yeah, I already got one this period. I don't need another one.
Well, a huge opportunities for Ottawa in front of Dominik Hasek. Brilliant goaltending, and Zhitnik ends up taking his second penalty for the hockey game.
McKee sending it around behind the net. Juneau trying to take out York. Does. Puck knocked down, kept in by Ottawa again, right in front of the net. Speared off into the corner by Yashin. Yashin swings it down low. Here's Dackel, got it in front. Hasek in there again to foil Johansson. Dackel catching up with it for Ottawa. Left it at the point. York feeds it around. All the way to the corner to Yashin. Yashin back for Redden. Redden will give it to Yashin again. Yashin took his shot, and Hasek knocked that one away, and it's cleared down the ice. Tugna feeding it up to Redden. Buffalo gets a chance to change. Ottawa as well. Back comes Alfredson. Alfredson tips it in over the line to Yashin. Yashin's dealing one across ice. Salo's long shot. It bounced around behind the net. Schmelik trying to tie up his man. Back for Salo again. Salo dumping it off in the corner. Waiting for a return pass. McEachern fell, but he managed to keep it into Alfredson. Back to McEachern. McEachern rolling around. He took his shot. Hasek the rebound. Hasek makes the save again. Stuffed around behind the net. Comes out in front. Salo blasts it wide. Here's Kravchuk keeping it in. Works it to the corner. It's spun around on the board. Sabres can't get it out. Yashin holding it in. Tried to roll it in front. Broken up by Schmelik. Now tipped behind the net. They jam at it again. Right beside the net. And play is called. And Yashin is getting worked over. And now Alfredson goes charging in there to grab Patrick. And that brings Brown into the fray. And boy, oh boy, it wouldn't take. Now Alfredson gets up and tosses one at Brown.
Now, Alfredson's got to calm down. I mean, his club trailing 2-0. He just cannot take a silly penalty no matter what Buffalo does to Alexei Yashin. Dominik Hasek has been absolutely brilliant here again in the last 4 or 5 minutes. He stopped Yashin on a shot. Hasek didn't see it. It was through a maze of players, but he was in the right position. And then he continued on from there. Great goaltending on a superior power play by Ottawa. Hasek just brilliant as he moves across the net. That unequaled lateral movement, getting himself in position not only for the first shot, but for the second one. And Ottawa had numerous chances to get on the board. Alfredson, during that scrum, ends up taking the only penalty. And that's not what Ottawa needs in this game.
39 seconds remaining. It's some of the folks are
polishing up the Vezina.
Yeah. Wonder who they're going to give that to, huh?
Dominik Hasek now has not allowed a goal to the Senators in the last 131 minutes and 28 seconds. And it's not because tonight they haven't had chances to score.
Oh, brother.
In game 3, Dominik had just coasted to a shutout. Here on the opening period, 13 shots for Ottawa. And the Sabres running around in their own zone. Lindy wanted his club to concentrate more on the Ottawa point men. They're going to have to get back to that game plan because they're not.
Each team is shorthanded at this moment. 35 seconds to go now, and the Buffalo penalty. Tucked into the corner. Dackel comes up with it. Dackel takes a bump in there. Warner helps out and gets it to Verada. Verada swings one across ice. Warner catching up with it. Warner back to McKee in his skates. He gets it up on the wing. Verada starts away with Primo. Worked into the corner. Primo trying to catch up with it. Kravchuk after the puck around to the boards, and he got it by Warner and down the ice. No icing on this play, however. Hasek banks it up ahead to Warner. Warner can't get it out, but ties up his check in the corner. They push and shove. McKee comes over. Buffalo is back at full strength, so the Sabres are now with the man advantage as Primo starts to center. Working it up ahead. Junot turning, allowing his teammates to complete a change. Junot in over the line. Here's Grosek getting it across the shove. By Pekka. Set back behind the net. Junot tying up Redmond in the corner. Junot knocks it around on the boards. Kept in at the point again. Scoop back into Junot. Got it across to Woolley. Woolley looking in front. Takes the shove it on. And Tugnut snares that one.
Boy, Joe Junot with some excellent work first in the neutral zone. And then Buffalo gained the Ottawa blue line, and Junot went to work. Made a great play, a one-on-one battle against a guy who's much bigger and stronger in Sammy Salo. And Junot won the battle in the corner, and Buffalo ended up with a couple of shots on goal on this power play. 50 seconds remaining. Our keys to this series for Buffalo to generate a forecheck. They've certainly done that since game one. Eliminate turnovers at the Ottawa blue line. They've been almost perfect at that. The 2-goal lead, we have it here tonight. That's huge. And special teams, of course, a very big part of this playoff series. Buffalo winning game 2 on a power play goal by Curtis Brown. And they got another power play goal in game 3 in this building. And scoring one here on this power play would really put Ottawa in deep trouble.
Woolley will send it in, goes around behind the net. Tugnut helps it around the board. Shipman pinches in to keep it in there. York with it in the corner. Junot working on him. Here comes Zhitnik across again. Back to Pekka to hold it in. Pekka gets it right back again. Pekka works it in now to Zhitnik. Zhitnik swinging it back to Junot. Junot takes a shot. Got it into Zhitnik once more. Back to Junot. Junot winding up. Over to Woolley. Woolley takes a shot in front of the net. It's kicked away. Woolley trying to keep it in there. Gets tied up by Boss. Now they jam on the boards. Kept in by Buffalo to Zhitnik. Takes the shot right on the rebound. Slipped around behind the net. Pekka couldn't reach it. Tapped on the corner. Kept in by Buffalo. Woolley took a hit. They jam on the wall once again. The Senators feed it off the glass and through center ice. Albertson stepping out of the penalty box going after it. And Zhitnik after him. And it's called now offside at the Buffalo line. 5 minutes to go in the first. 2-0 Buffalo on Empire.
We now move ahead in the action.
Well, the matchup tonight, of course, as throughout this series, let's say Yashin versus Michael Pekka. Yashin, of his 7 shifts, 6 were opposed by Michael Pekka. And, of course, the Pekka line scored that second goal for Buffalo against the Yashin line. 2-0 Sabres as we start the second period.
York tipping it across ice. Now whipped out to center. Hossa going after it. He'll spin it in off the glass. Zhitnik rolling it ahead to Rasmussen. Can't get it out. Ottawa keeping it in there again. Banked in by Redden around behind the goal. Albertson tied up by Schmelik. And Schmelik scoops it off into the corner. Rasmussen charging after it. Rasmussen gets to center. Gets knocked down by Hossa. York from behind his net, flinging it around to the board. Primo keeping it in there. Now taken back by Redden. Primo's on him. He leaves it to Bonk. Bonk swings it to the blue line. Not out. Schmelik held it in. Now it goes to center ice. Rasmussen waiting for his teammates to get onside. Drills it right back in again and hustles off on a change. Senators dealing it across ice. Up for Hossa. Got away from him. McKee trying to flip it in the other direction to Ward. Ward jams it in over the line and ends up squirting high in the air to center ice. If Ward touches it, the whistle will go. It does. It was a glove pass from McKee to Ward.
Now, one of our keys throughout this series has been in the neutral zone, and you don't want to turn the puck over in that area of the ice. The Senators turned it over 8 times, 7 in the neutral zone. One of them, of course, resulted in, actually 2 resulted in goals. Sabres turned the puck over just 3 times, and that's one of the reasons why the Buffalo Sabres have a 3-game lead in this series and a 2-0 lead in this hockey game with 18:55 remaining here in the second period.
McKee slipping it across ice to Warner. Pass up ahead, too far for Grosek. It's left for Kravchuk. Grosek trying to catch up with him and does. Went back into the corner. Alfredsson drops it off. Here's Junot in front of the net. Quick shot by Brown. Tug got the save. Browner on the boards again. Kept in by Buffalo again. Spun back into the corner to the point. Kept in by Buffalo. Warner over top of the net. Now it's sent by Sallow around to the boards. Warner charges into his check. Here's Brown trying to feed it through center. Alfredsson stealing it back. Alfredsson whips it up on the wing. Missed everybody. Down the ice it goes. And an icing call coming up against Ottawa.
Boy, Curtis Brown could have made it 3-0. What a play by Junot. And when I saw Curtis Brown get the puck in front of the net, he hesitated. And that allowed the goaltender, Tugnut, to move across and make the save. But Junot, all those great offensive players, those creative guys, do the unexpected. And that's what Junot did on that play. No one expected him to attempt that pass to Brown. And Curtis could not convert it, but it was well executed. Great play by Junot. Just took the puck off the boards, put it in front of the net. I think Curtis was a little bit worried that he was going to lose control of the puck. The puck hit his stick, flipped up, and that's when he hesitated, and it was too late.
Zhitnik will hold this one in. Lokinen spins it around on the board. Schmelik moves up to get it to Verada. Verada pulling away from Yashin, but it's recovered by Lokinen and wheeled all the way through center and down the ice. Zhitnik hustling after it, watched by Dacko. Zhitnik leaves it to Schmelik. Schmelik scooping it around to Ward. Ward trying to guide it ahead. Ottawa keeping it in. Johansson goes down, and Zhitnik gets his third penalty of the night.
Now that's a very bad penalty for Zhitnik to take. Instead of getting himself in position, he just chopped down the Ottawa forward, and for the third time he'll sit in the penalty box. Now Buffalo, I mean, here they're sitting with a 2-goal lead. You cannot allow the Ottawa Senators to get themselves back in the game, and one of the ways that you do that is by taking bad penalties. And Zhitnik took a bad penalty in that play. And the Senators with a chance here, one shot, could put them right back in the hockey game with plenty of time showing. And the first couple of times they had the man advantage, they dominated Buffalo in the Sabres zone. We'll see if the Sabres make some adjustments. Lindy Ruff wanted the point men covered more closely, and they better start doing that, or the Senators are going to put one in.
Here's Tucker trying to pick it off, rolled it, didn't get it out. Ottawa keeping it in, cleared across ice to McEachern. He'll chop it down low to Yashin, who lets it go around behind the net. Tucker charging in there after it. It's cleared to the blue line, not out. Back it comes. Emerson, the shot! Blocked by McKee and sent to center ice. Emerson heading it across now. Phillips works it ahead. Here's Alfredsson over the line. McKee trying to end him right there. Whoa. Daniel Alfredsson saw Jay McKee coming in the nick of time. Pass to center to Prospo. Prospo dropping it off. Brought in over the line, but broken up and cleared right back out again by Schmelik. Now Emerson sends it across ice, and it's gunned right back down the ice.
A play by Schmelik again, breaking up the play by the Buffalo blue line, and the Sabres end up killing off another 30 seconds.
At the center by Redden, clearing it in over the line. That's broken up by Holzinger this time. Less than a minute to go in the Zhitnik penalty. Right back in behind the net. Ottawa trying to regroup to get it going. Sallow swings one through the middle, taken away by Patrick. He uses the boards. Sallow has to chase after it again, but in so doing, he allows Buffalo time to make a change, and now it's brought back in over the line. Hossa trying to cut in, shoveled it toward the net. Hasek knocked it away. Swooped around on the board. Schmelik to the blue line, out over the line, and ends up at center ice. Half a minute left in the penalty. Kravchuk turning around. Kravchuk feeds it right back through the middle. Far as center ice, it's jumped in. Hasek tees it up. Warner got it around on the boards, and Rhett Warner successfully clears it the rest of the way down the ice. 4 minutes have gone here in the second period. 2-0 Buffalo. Hossa into Buffalo territory, leaving it to Yashin. Yashin sending it into the corner. It's cleared right beside the net. Kept in there by Robertson to Yashin, and it's knocked away. Buffalo back at full strength. Tucked back into the corner again. Here's Yashin trying to get it in front, and it's cleared away and goes through center ice. And Yashin complaining after he was dehatted. Here to the blue line, Rasmussen got it in front of the net, back pass, and Rasmussen couldn't connect. Tugnut cleared it away. Out at center, back in the other direction to Verada. He tried to get it to Primo. The pass went behind him. Kravchuk checked along the boards. Ottawa recovering again. It's flipped up to center ice and scooped off by Bonk into the corner. McKee going after it. McKee works it around on the boards. Deflected back through the neutral zone. 5 minutes have gone here in the second period. Pass by Ottawa, stolen by Woolley. Chances in over the line to shot and fired it off the glass. Kept in again by Buffalo. Sent around on the boards. Woolley got it in front of the net. Deflects to Cruz. He took a shot nowhere near the net. Round on the boards, and the Senators just pick it up and flip it back into the Buffalo end. Woolley coming up with it. Donato peels off him and heads to the bench. Now Woolley up on the wing to Cruz. The pass went behind him, and it's taken back by Lokkonen, and Lokkonen ducked away from a check, and down on the ice at center ice is Dixon Ward. Check it, it's Brian Holzinger who tried to nail Lokkonen right in the neutral zone, and Holzinger missed Lokkonen, but he didn't miss the boards. And he is feeling the effects as a result of that.
Now Buffalo leading 2-0 with 14:24 remaining here in the second. Brian Holzinger, who crashed into the boards in the neutral zone, is okay. He was shaken up there for a couple of minutes, but he's on the bench and did not go to the dressing room. Sabres with this 2-0 lead, and of course the danger of a 2-0 lead is sometimes you get psychologically, you don't want to, but it happens. You try to protect that lead, you become unaggressive, and you allow the other club to keep coming at you. Buffalo wants to remain aggressive, and so far I think they have done that.
Warren Brown will win the draw now and get it back to Shipnick, cruising behind the net, shakes off the kicker and off the boards to center ice. Redden tips it over to York. York being won, feeding it ahead. Brown stepped into him. Redden comes up with it in the corner. Tipped it back behind the goal. York has it. York gets checked by Grosek. Redden has to go after it again and feeds it out to Emerson. Emerson working his way to center ice. Scoops it over on the wing to Alfredson. Alfredson cutting in with a shot. Hasek to save the rebound. Another whack at it. It's cleared away. Ottawa keeping it in with Redden. He guides it across ice. Here's York taking a shot. Deflected off into the corner. Junot comes up with it. Junot banks it off the boards. Doesn't get it out. Ottawa keeping it in there again. It's tucked back into York. York takes a shot. Scores! York fires that one and drills it by Hasek. And now Ottawa's within one.
13:36 remaining, and I'll tell you, the Ottawa Senators really getting their defensemen involved. Jason York, a great job inside the blue line. And I mentioned in the opening period, Sabres having problems in their own zone at times, giving the puck away. That time it was Junot, and everybody got themselves out of position. York moves in from the point position from just on the faceoff dot, beats Dominic Hasek. We've got a new hockey game here with 13:36 remaining in the second period, and Buffalo better start waking up in their own zone.
McKee chasing after it now, swings it around behind the net. Warner feeding it to Verada. Verada starting away with a pass up on the wing, and Warner overskates it. Pekka helps him out. Pekka now will tap one in wide of the net. Lokkonen coming up with it in the corner. Verada took a run at him. It comes to center ice. McKee scoops it out to Ward. Ward feeds it into Ottawa territory. Verada trying to catch up with it. Does in the corner. And then lost it to Lokkonen. Lokkonen turning, and he flipped it through center ice. McKee getting it back. Got it up towards Ward again. It comes to the Buffalo line. Yashin got it in over the line. Back to Dackel. Dackel looking in front of the net, and the shot goes wide. Pekka lets it slide to Verada. Verada starting out. McKee to Ward. Ward just easing it down the ice and stepping off on a chain. Senators York. Moving it to center. Buffalo getting it back again as York got hammered by Rasmussen. And now Hossa flattens Woolley. Slides back in behind that. Primo into Kravchuk, jammed around on the boards. Barnes gets nailed from behind by Hossa. Primo gets involved in there, bumping with Bonk. Into the blue line and out to center ice. Senators kicking ahead again to the Buffalo line and over. Broken up by Woolley. Hossa keeping it in. Holding in front of the net. Hasek knocks it away to Rasmussen. Rasmussen will get it out to center. 8 minutes into this second period. Scoop right back in again. Barnes knocked down by Bonk, who got away with that one. Then it's sent through center ice. Ottawa getting it back. Tipped up ahead. McEachern trying to get away. McEachern hitting the Buffalo line. Dribbles one in wide of the net. Hasek slaps it back into the corner. Barnes coming up with it. He'll scoop it to center ice. That's knocked down and cleared to Alfredson. Alfredson poking it ahead. Taken away. Rasmussen scooped it out as far as center ice. The Senators break it up, however. Patrick got in front of his check, and then it's fired in by Barnes, and this one just makes it across the icing line, and the face-off will be back in the Buffalo end, where the Sabres lead 2-1.
Now Dominic Hasek, just terrific in this series. Finally, Ottawa scores a goal on him at 5-on-5. And his shutout streak ends at 144 minutes and 55 seconds, and it took a defenseman to do it, as Jason York scored Ottawa's first goal. We're 2-1. Yashin on the ice against Pekka for this face-off to the right of Dominic Hasek.
Hit to the corner. Zhitnik takes it away. Zhitnik using the glass to send it through center. This one is going to make it down the ice, so it's coming right back in the same spot again. And let's go now to Danny Gare.
Thanks, Rick. Up here in the press box with Rochester American coach Brian Hutchison. And Brian, you're up here enjoying this game because you swept the Adirondack Red Wings in the first series. You had a great year this year winning the division. Thoughts so far on your season?
Well, we're very pleased with the season that we had. We had a real good bunch of guys and a talented group, and most importantly, they worked very well as a team, and I think that was the key to our success all year.
You got a couple of guys up here, Rasmussen and Sylvester, that are playing very well also.
Now they've done a great job for us. I think Raz needed to get the time in Rochester to gain his confidence and the consistency, and he's really done a lot of that.
Thanks, Brian. Up to you guys.
Here's Schmelik sending it around. Verata steers it out and into the Ottawa zone. Salo is back after it. Salo taking it back into the corner. Recovered by Johansson. Johansson dropping it back behind the net. And away goes Buffalo again. Trying to stop the Senators at the Buffalo blue line, but it's lugged in over the line by Kravchuk. He gets taken out by Zhitnik. Pekka with a pass, deflected, kept in there by Ottawa, though. It's punched in front of the net, broken up. Zhitnik kicked it away to center ice, 2-on-1 Buffalo. Ward in over the line, waltzing in with Verata. Verata scores!
And that's unlike Ottawa. They, for the most part through this season, have been disciplined. The Yashin line, again, victimized by Pekka. The pinch at the blue line by the defense is stopped. Ward with a beautiful pass across to Verata, and Verata slips it home. Buffalo has their 2-goal lead back. Not a very good play by the defenseman Kravchuk. And Ward with a great pass to Verata, and Václav has his second of the night when Buffalo really needed to score.
Primo tips it back now. Here's McKee to Warner. Feeds it up on the wing. Taken back by the Senators to York. York. It's intercepted. Here's Grosek walking in. Grosek the shot. Tugnut. A huge save as Tugnut sprawls Ella Hasek and robs Grosek. McKee feeding it around on the boards. York keeping it in. That deflects right in front of the net. McKee scoops it to the boards again. And it's deflected across ice to Rhett Warner. Warner getting it out to center. Ottawa, the pass to York for Redden. Redden swinging it ahead. Grosek has gone to the bench. He's broken his stick. Brought back in. Arvidsson's shot is kicked away. And it's backed off the boards to the blue line. Not out. Senators keeping it in. Kicked out of the air. Primo hooks it free and slides it right down to the Ottawa goaltender Tugnut. Senators starting back. York's long pass to Alfredson. 2-on-1 in over the line. McEachern took the shot. Scored! McEachern! And there's Ottawa battling right back again and trailing once more by 1.
And Lindy Ruff wanted his defense to be aggressive, even at the risk of giving up odd man rushes. Well, Jason Woolley got too aggressive that time in the neutral zone. Gets caught 2-on-1, and McEachran with a beautiful shot on Dominik Hasek. Alfredsson, a great play as he pulled Jason Woolley to him, and Alfredsson doing the right thing, shooting the puck, beats Dominik Hasek. And we've got a shootout going here in this game. 3-2, Buffalo, 9:28 remaining here in the second period.
Who would have thought this?
Oh, man. Sean McEachran with a perfect shot against Dominik Hasek.
Twice Buffalo has had 2-goal leads. Twice Ottawa has come back. And we're only halfway through the second period. McKee trying to gain center ice, got it off the boards, tapped back out again for Albertson, and taken away by Junot to McKee. He'll feed one in. Tugnutt leaves it behind the net. Lokinen sending it around to the boards, and it goes through center. Buffalo's Junot spinning it ahead, deflected in over the line, but Phillips takes it away. Phillips trying to pull away and does to Albertson. He'll scoop it in, and Sylvester ran into Phillips. Senators McEachran holding it in there. He's checked by Warner. It's kicked ahead to the blue line and taken by Junot. Has to wait for the puck. Now he'll just feed it to Ottawa territory. Swung back in the other direction. Junot knocking it down. Getting it across ice to Brown. Sylvester goes to the net. Here's Brown looking for the trailer to Junot in the corner. Junot spinning around. Put his shot. And that one hit Sylvester in front of the net. And the Senators, Alfredsson starting back. Alfredsson hitting the Buffalo line and over. He drops it off in the corner. It's flung toward the net. Hasek knocks it away. Johansson checked in there by Sylvester. Tried free by Pekka. Pekka hit by Yashin. Senators keeping it in. Ripped across ice to York in a long shot that goes wide. Junot slips it out to center. Junot's trying to get to the bench. Can't do it. As the Senators bring it back in again. To Dacko. Dacko cleared in front. Deflected around behind the net. McKee spins it ahead, and away goes Verada. Verada with 2 of Buffalo's 3 goals. Verada getting it over the line. Finally loses control. Ottawa coming back up to Yashin. Yashin plus a shot, and Hasek kicks that away to Schmelik. Intercepted at the blue line. Finally punched free, and it goes to Ward. The Senators bring it back in again. Yashin leaving it there. Verada stepped into Arvidsson. They'll jam along the board. Schmelik comes in to pull over top of Yashin. Knocked down right at the line. Hossa carries on into the corner. Hossa gets checked by Zhipnik. Zhipnik and Yashin get the lumber up on each other. Back comes Buffalo through center. Up for Verada. Verada tapping it in and heading off on a change with 7:20 to go here in the second. Passing the wing to Salo. Salo sends it through center ice. Knocked down by Zhipnik. Zhipnik trying to get it up on the wing. Primo coming in now. Primo around Kravchuk. Primo in the corner still with the puck. Hossa checked him. And finally recovered by Bonk, who slips it up on the wing. Pass across ice to Salo. Salo faked it. Now he takes the shot. He gunned it wide of the net. McKee chopping it around to Warner. Warner up on the wing. Rasmussen sending it across to Grosek. Grosek in over the line. Took the shot. Tugnutt had some trouble, but he cleared it away. Alfredsson getting it back. Alfredsson slipping it up ahead. Phillips leading the rush. Hitting the Buffalo line. Way upside is Sean McEachran. Less than 7 to go in the second period. Buffalo on top, but only by 1. Unimpaired.
We now move ahead in the action.
Here in Buffalo, the Sabres take a 3-2 lead into this third period. And as far as the head coaches are concerned tonight, this is the first game in the series when there has been very little line juggling. Jacques Martin, as I mentioned earlier, has come into this game and he said, I'm not going to worry about trying to get Yashin away from Pekka or any other situations. And that's what it's been. It's been straight ahead, and it's been an exciting hockey game as we get underway.
York getting it across to Redden. Redden tried to squeeze it through center ice. It's finally banked in over the line. Schmelik takes it away. Can't get it out. Arvidsson keeping it. Here's Hossa with a shot. Hasek the save. Jam back in the corner. Hossa's still got the puck. Hossa flipping it in wide of the net. Hasek working it around to Rasmussen, but Arvidsson keeps it in. Arvidsson works it back into the corner. And the Senators immediately putting on pressure. Now it's tipped in wide of the net. Hasek without a goal stick. Got it around on the board, didn't get it out. Ottawa keeping it in there again. Quick shot fired wide, and this time it'll end up going back into Senator territory, and Buffalo hustling to make a change.
That was Hossa who missed the net. That's not the time to miss the net when the goaltender's stick is laying back there.
McKecker now leaving it to Emerson, winding up and going one way up into the Marine Midland Arena.
The Ottawa Senators got a great shift to start the period from Marcus Ardvison, who missed Game 3 with back spasms. Radek Bonk and Hossa also playing on that line. Now that was a line that was very good for Ottawa towards the end of the regular season, and Jacques Martin got a lot of heat from the Ottawa press for breaking the line up when this series began. And he put it back together actually in Game 3, and it continues here tonight, and they came very close to scoring as Hossa had a great chance on Hasek right off the get-go after the puck was dropped.
Kravchuk coming up with the puck at center. Salo swings one in. Warner trying to kick it free in the corner. Challenge, but gets it to Sylvester. Dean Sylvester, the pass at center to Junot. Racing after it, so is Salo. And Salo comes up with it. Got it around behind the net as Brown fell. Salo starts out once more for Ottawa. To center, the long shot. Hasek handles that to McKee. Senators are changing. Up to Sylvester on the wing. Sylvester swinging one in. That goes wide of the net, and Buffalo immediately making a change as Yashin is out there, and that brings Pekka on for Buffalo, but the Senators meanwhile dumping down the ice. That's an icing.
Well, this date is a very significant one in Buffalo Sabres history. Against New Jersey a couple of years ago in the 7th period. April the 27th, Game 6 at the Auditorium. Dave Hannon on the backhand ends it in the early hours of the morning.
You know, the neat thing about that, when we get a chance to look at it, all those people still sitting in the seats.
That's right.
They don't want to go home.
Boy, there's Dominik Hasek in that game, stopped 70 shots and had a shutout streak of over 135 minutes.
Ottawa's Phillips can't get it out. Pekka keeping it in. Spotted in front. Barada the shot, and Tugnut foils him, and now the Ottawa net is sent flying.
Now, Václav Barada, can you spell hat trick? He has 2 tonight, and he had another great opportunity, but the problem was he was in too close to the goaltender, and Tugnut really didn't have to do a whole lot except hold his position and make sure the puck wasn't shot into the net along the ice. I think Tugnut knew that Barada could not shoot this puck up high as he spun and fired it. And a nice stop by Tugnut. The net was knocked ajar in a faceoff coming up here to the left of the goaltender.
Schmelik holding it in with a backhand, getting it into the corner. Barada got nailed from behind by Lokinen. No penalty called there. Here's Ward trying to dig it free. Barada comes up with a puck. Barada turning again. He works it down low. Ward got it now. Ward swinging around, keeping it in. Barada lets it go behind the net to Pekka. Back to Barada. Barada trying to work it in front. Still has the puck. He's crunched by Yashin. Taken away by Lokinen. Lokinen is checked by Ward. Then on the second effort, kicked it out to center. Senators bringing it back again. It's dribbled in over the line. Yashin charging after it in the corner. Nails him. Buffalo coming up with a puck, scooping it high in the air through center ice, and Rasmussen just failed to catch up with it. Arvidsson back after it. Sabres in the midst of a change. Hossa gaining the Buffalo line and over, but Schmelik stays right with them. Woolley spins it behind the net to Rasmussen, bumping with Bonk. Ends up going back behind the net again. Primo is there to get it around to the boards. Didn't get it out. Kicked in by Redden. Redden knocked down along with Primo. It's flipped off the boards again and goes to center ice, and Primo racing after it. 2-on-1 in over the line. Here's Primo with a shot, and he fired it wide on the short side. Bonk didn't get it out. Woolley keeping it in. Arvidsson has it. Arvidsson going behind his net. He'll start to come away for Ottawa. Brings it up to center. Flipped it through the middle again. Brought to the Buffalo line and kicked across the line. Now up to center to Alfredson. He gets nailed by Grosek. Taken back by York. York feeding it up on the wing. That misses everybody. Slides down the ice. This is icing against Ottawa. 16:25 to go. here in the third period as the Buffalo Sabres and the Ottawa Senators go at it tooth and nail.
Both coaches in this game have cut down to 3 lines. We haven't seen Stu Barnes at all, or very little. Paul Cruz, of course, also not too much ice time, and Jacques Martin doing the same thing.
Warner with a shot that's right on. Sylvester rolling into Kravchuk heavily. Over to Warner. Heading it up ahead. Brown couldn't catch up with it. Ends up back at the Buffalo blue line. Warner turning, finding McKee. He gets it up on the wing, and it's fed through center ice and over the line to Sylvester. Just failed to get away. Senators bringing it back again. Alfredson turning around for Kravchuk. Kravchuk to the Buffalo line and over. He dropped it back, and it's dribbled in wide of the net. McKee gets it around the boards to Junot. Junot starting back into Ottawa territory. Lost control at the last second. Picked up by Kravchuk, who's behind the play. He got it ahead, and Junot steals it back again. Junot sliding it up ahead to Brown. Brown getting it over the line. Brown still hanging on to the puck. Scoops it now into the corner. Too far for Barada. York got it up ahead. Senators bringing it back. Approaching the 5-minute mark here in the third period. Donato leaving it. Redden's shot is right on. That's kicked off into the corner. Jammed around on the boards. Kept in by Yashin. Fed in front of the net. Knocked down by Barada. Barada! Oh, and he just failed to get away. York coming up with it now for the Senators, spinning it up on the wing to Yashin. Yashin gaining the Buffalo line, sends it across, came right in front of the net. That's knocked out. Here's a rebound to Yashin. He cleared it in front of the net. It's gone back into the corner again. Taken away by Zhitnik around on the other side. Pinching in for the Senators is Dackel. Schmelik breaks it up. Schmelik flips it. And back into Ottawa territory. And some pushing and shoving going behind the play, and there's a penalty coming up here, and it's going to go to Buffalo.
Well, Ottawa touched the puck, though. Let's see. It's an elbowing penalty, and
I'll take it back. It's Yashin.
It is Yashin who's going to the penalty box. One of the adjustments that Buffalo made after Game 1 was for the Buffalo defense to reverse the puck from the strong side to the weak side. They did that just recently. Moved the puck out of the zone, and Yashin ends up, I think, taking an elbowing penalty. Well, he's on the clock, but he's not in the penalty box. But Yashin took 2 bad penalties in Game 3, and now he gets his elbow up on Richard Schmelik. And earlier in the shift, he got his elbow up, or I beg your pardon, his stick, into the face of Michael Pekka inadvertently. But the penalty is to Yashin. And Buffalo with a glorious chance here to go up by 2 with 14:47 remaining. Now, we've been talking so much about Yashin through this series, and he hasn't produced. And Jacques Martin has done everything in his power to make it more comfortable for Yashin. But what can Jacques do? He's between a rock and a hard place. None of his other players are producing. He looks to Yashin to be the big guy all the time. But what if Alfredson was scoring? Or what if McEachran, who does have a goal or 2 in the series, but what if they were scoring? Would take the pressure off him, maybe force Lindy Ruff to put the checkers on another line. But it hasn't happened.
Zhitnik coming up with it now. Leading it over on the wing. Woolley hitting the Ottawa zone. Got it in over the line. Into Ward. Back to Woolley. Spins it over to Zhitnik. Zhitnik feeding it into Ward in the corner. Ward tipping it back to Zhitnik again. Takes his shot. Taking to save the rebound. And it squirts off into the corner. Senators. Arvidsson firing it down the ice. 1.5 minutes to go in the penalty. Almost 6 minutes have passed here in the third period. Buffalo a 3-2 lead in game number 4. Leading 3 games to zip. Up on the wing, as you know, couldn't get away at center, but he spun it ahead and gets a return pass from Brown. Junot lost it in the corner, and it's golfed right back down the ice.
Like Daniel Alfredson didn't see that move by Junot before. What a great defensive play by Alfredson inside the Ottawa line.
Zhitnik trying it again. He'll hit center ice and drill one off the corner glass. Around the board, Redden didn't get it. Junot keeping it in, banks it back behind the net. Sabres holding it in, wheeled back to the point. Zhitnik keeping it in, drops it off to Barnes, down low, comes around to Junot, turning in the corner. He'll swing it back to Woolley. Woolley takes a look, gives it to Junot again. Junot tucking it back in along the board, gets it back from Brochik. Junot at the point, holding it in there, back pass to Zhitnik. Zhitnik turning around, screen shot,
shot by Zhitnik. But I'll tell you, Juneau quarterback this play inside the line, and Stu Barnes, who has not played much, the first time he's been on the ice, I think since early in the second period, had himself parked right in front of the goaltender. But Juneau's the guy that really made things go in the zone, makes the play to Zhitnik, and Barnes standing right in front of the goaltender. And the puck may have been deflected. I'm not sure. We'll have to wait. It may have gone off an Ottawa player. Two players jabbed at it. Barnes was one of them. We'll see. But what a play. What a power play by Buffalo at a clutch time in this game.
And this joint is rocking again. Another sold-out crowd at the Marine Midland Arena.
And who was in the penalty box but the captain of the Ottawa Senators? Boy, what a horrible, horrible playoffs that young guy has had.
Buffalo, its third two-goal lead of the night. Now scooped in wide of the net. Tugnut leaving it back there to Salo. Salo being challenged. Got it up ahead. Didn't get it out. Off Grosek skate back into the corner. 15 minutes to go here in the third period. Kravchuk sliding it ahead. Albertson leaves it there to Kravchuk. Gets a return pass, but it's taken away. And Primo trying to come up with the puck. Can't do it. Goes after it again and scoops it in. Tugnut will leave it to Kravchuk. Pulling away from Grosek. Igor Kravchuk with a pass to center ice. Albertson scoots it in, trying to race in after it. McKee gets there first. Sends it around to the boards. Warner takes it back. Warner hooking it off the boards. Lokinen keeping it in, however. Lokinen winds up, took his shot, knocked down. Emerson took a poke at it. That ends up at center ice. Lokinen drifting one across. And now an errant pass by Phillips goes down the ice. It will not be icing, however. Taken back by Buffalo. Spun off the boards. This goes down to the other end, wide of the Ottawa net. This one will be icing. A tad over 12 minutes remaining here in the third period. Buffalo whooping it up. A two-goal lead on Empire.
Now, Alexei Zhitnik taking the shot. A rising slap shot that may have been tipped. He has gotten credited for the goal. Buffalo 4, Ottawa 2.
Verona chips it out to center ice. Lokinen getting it back. Intercepted by Pekka, but knocked down at the blue line. Gloved out to center ice, and the Senators received the glove pass, so that occasions a stoppage in play.
I'm sure Lindy Ruff wanted to have Michael Pekka on for that power play. As it turns out, Buffalo ends up scoring, but Pekka usually plays the power play. And the reason that he didn't was, of course, Lindy wants to keep him fresh to be able to play against Yashin. And again, here is this matchup. Ward, Pekka, Verada. And, of course, Michael is very quick to say, too. He said, I can't cover him all myself. I need help from my wingers and my defense, and they have been great throughout this series.
Lokinen tipped it in over the line, but it's scooped back out too high for Verada and recovered by Yanni Lokinen. He'll leave it there to Chris Phillips. Phillips takes a look. On the wing it comes to Lokinen. Pekka broke it up, but it's chipped ahead to the Buffalo line and scooped in by Donato. Zhitnik taking it back. Zhitnik sliding away from Yashin. Now Zhitnik coming to center. He'll tip it in over the line. Redden knocking it down. Wade Redden takes a peek and starts back with a pass that went all the way to center and is gunned back in by Woolley. We're down to 11 minutes to go here in the third period. Pass up the middle. Yashin hitting the Buffalo line, scooping it into Hossa. Hossa races in, trying to clear it in front of the net. Hasek knocks it away. Sylvester forces it along the boards and sends it to Juneau. Leaving it there. Pack pass to Juneau again and over the line. Juneau looking in front of the net, and it didn't get to Brown. Taken away by Redden and scooted out to center. Woolley for Patrick. Patrick feeding it through the middle. Sabres get it back again to Sylvester. He chops it in, trying to catch up with it. Salo gunning it off the boards and all the way through center ice. McKee tracks it down. Challenge, got it around behind the net to Warner. Back to McKee again. Feeds it to Primo. Primo slipped it out to the red line. Taken right back by Buffalo. A pass to Primo. Primo got as far as the line. He got checked. And now McKee belts it right back in again. Halfway through the third period. 4-2. Buffalo the lead. Away goes Bonk. Getting it up on the wing. That one is scooted into the corner. Charging it after it. Warner hooked it around on the glass. Didn't get it out. Back to the point. Salo's long shot doesn't get through. Warner comes up with it again. Feeding it around to the blue line. Grosek bumping there with Kravchuk. Kravchuk kept it in. But it's scooped to an open wing and will be recovered by Red Warner. Warner around to Rasmussen, failed to catch up with it. Senators keeping it in as they make a change. Albertson then promptly gave it away, and McKee just slips it off the boards into Ottawa territory. Phillips getting it out to center to Lokinen. That's broken up. Lokinen after it again. Got it in over the line. Hasek comes out of the net to guide it around for Schmelik. Schmelik slipping it off the boards to center ice. Marotta got it back to Zhitnik. Waltzing in. Let it go wide, and it's going to be an offside Buffalo. Tonight, following Hockey Hotline, stay tuned for the Empire Sports Report. Scores, highlights, and breaking news coming your way immediately following the post-game show. Empire Sports Report on your sports source, Empire Sports Network.
Alec Zhitnik scoring on the power play to give Buffalo the 2-goal lead. The guy he's been paired with, Richard Schmelik, has just been great in this series. You talk about the Buffalo defense. Zhitnik has been excellent. Warner right down the line, Jay McKee, but I think Schmelik has been the best of them all.
Zhitnik getting it behind the net. This one is sent off the glass to the blue line. Verada scooped it out to center ice. 9 minutes left on the clock in the third period. Dackel hooks one in. Hasek is out to play it around on the boards, getting it to Ward, and he scooped it out through center ice. Lokinen catching up with it. Feeding it in over the line. Kept in by Johansson. A quick shot right on. Hasek the save. Tips it to Junot. Junot is checked in the corner. Senators putting the pressure on now. Yashin bumping in there along with Pekka. Pekka ends up knocked down on the puck. Now he flips it off into the corner to Junot. Junot starting away. Sending it across to Schmelik as Junot got grabbed and hauled down. No penalty called there. And the two players are trying to be separated now as Junot was battling away along with Johansson. Senators coming up with it again. Johansson and Junot went to the bench. There's a penalty coming up here to Buffalo, and a long shot from center that Hasek clears to the side. Barnes flips ahead, and now a penalty coming up to Buffalo. Exactly 8 minutes to go in the third. 4-2 Buffalo on Empire.
Joe Junot's in the penalty box, 2 minutes for roughing. What a strange situation this was. When I saw the play, I thought Andreas Johansson slew-footed Joey Junot as he tripped him up from behind. The two players crashed to the ice, and Junot ended up on top of Johansson, and in the opinion of the referee, deserved a roughing penalty.
And Mr. John Regas, chairman of the Sabres board, looking on. He's up here between periods to have a chat and looking pretty darn good.
And he's walking 3 miles a day.
Yep.
It's great.
Here the Senators whipping one in. I thought it went over the glass. It did not. McEachern trying to hold it in there. A push and shove on the boards. Yashin getting involved. Taken away by McKee to Pekka. Pekka will drill it down the ice. A minute and a half left in the Junot penalty. 7.5 to go, third period. Buffalo up by 2 in game 4 of this series. Rolls out to center ice. Albertson then gave it away, but it's kept in there by McEachern. McEachern rolling around, back to Albertson, and broken up by Buffalo's Brown to Holzinger. Holzinger gaining the Ottawa line. He'll drill it around behind the net. Salo charging after it, slipping it up to Dackel, back into Salo again with a minute to go and the Buffalo penalty. Worked out to center ice for Yashin. Yashin guiding it in over the line, chases after it himself, gets tied up in the corner and knocked down by Holzinger. And Buffalo kicking it free, and Holzinger starts back and just fires it down the ice and heads off on a change. Kravchuk after the puck. Kravchuk feeds it ahead, can't get it in. It's sent across ice again, spun in over the line, but broken up again by Buffalo and rolled down the ice by Schmelik. York turning in the corner to get away from Pekka's check. A half minute left in the Sabre penalty to Junot. Warner drills it right back down the ice again. York coming up with it for Ottawa. He'll wheel away to center and send it in. Too high for Warner to knock down. Hasek steered it into the corner. Prospel going after the puck. Back to Lokinen. He took a screenshot. Hasek kicked it away. Lokinen's got it again. swings it back to the point. Here's York keeping it in. Quick shot, nowhere near the net. Around it comes to Lokinen. Buffalo back at full strength. To York. He flipped it in front. That's knocked out. And it's cleared down the ice. And Juneau racing after it. Tugnut has to come out and play it away. Getting it up ahead. 5:45 to go. Arvidsson in over the line. Schmelik's all over him in the corner. They bounce on the boards. Hossa has the puck behind the Buffalo net. Trying to come out in front. Hasek made the save. They scored! Tipped into the net. And the Ottawa Senators with 5.5 minutes to go make it a one-goal game again.
Well, they give themselves a chance. What a play by Hossa. He's a very skilled player. Big guy, just 20 years old. Came around from the right of Dominic Hasek to the other side, and somehow the puck ended up in the net. And whether it bounced in an Ottawa player, off an Ottawa player or a Buffalo player, I'm not sure. But Hossa moving around behind the Buffalo net to elude Alexei Zhitnik. Wade Redden had moved in front. Also, Emerson had a whack at the loose puck, and it's very difficult to tell, even as we view the replay, who scored the goal. But Dominic Hasek needed some help on this play and didn't get it. It might be Emerson who poked the puck between the legs, but here we go again. Buffalo up by 1.
Primo to Grosek. Grosek, a check. And back come the Senators. 4 of them coming away. Emerson leaving it there. In over the line, Alfredson. He got checked, but it's kept in by Redden. Redden took his shot. That's blocked by Schmelik. Came right out in front. It's gone wide of the net. Sabres can't get it out. Tucked back into the corner. Zhitnik blasts it around to the boards, and that's going to get down the ice, and it will result in a face-off back in the Buffalo end, but Ottawa came ever so close to tying it up as we go to Danny Gare.
Thank you, Rick. I'm up here in the suites, and the director of suite services, Mark Stone, is leaving us on Friday for his last day and function here, your game here tonight. What are your thoughts on leaving and going to a nice area, but a hockey area?
Yeah, going down to North Carolina and work for the Hurricanes. But I definitely have mixed emotions, Danny. You and I go back a long way. My heart's always going to be with the Sabres. It's a great game to be my last game here, I'll tell you that.
Well, you never know. The third round, if the Sabres can pull this out in Carolina, we may meet up with you.
That's right. But even if I'm in Carolina, my heart will always be in Buffalo.
Thanks, Mark.
Thanks, Danny.
Spun off the boards now. Set away to center ice. There's a broom lying out on the ice in the Ottawa end, and Tugnut's trying to get the attention of the officials. Finally cleared to center. Pekka tried to get away, but it's spun back in again. Called on the offside. Mick Magoo, one of the referees, in the meantime, had picked up the broom and thrown it away.
Nelson Emerson gets credit for the goal. His first goal of the playoffs, but he's a leading scorer on Ottawa with 4 points. He was the guy, or one of the guys, that Jacques Martin was not playing here in this game. He puts him out there and he scores a goal.
Bouncer, Roland Tugnut, and it's scooped high in the air. After it is Ward to keep it in. Got it around behind the net. Rada gets knocked down. Pekka in the corner. He fired it across ice. Off the glass it goes and taken away to center. Broken up by McKee. Yashin is back there. Yashin trying to get away from Pekka. Yashin still after the puck again. Now he slings it and fires center ice. Yashin charges after it once more. In over the line with a shot, and Hasek handles that one and hangs on to it.
Yashin got a little skating room in the neutral zone. He's not a very good skater. In other words, he's not fast. He's very strong in his skates. But between the blue lines, he's not that effective. Once he gets in the zone, he is one of the great shots in the National Hockey League. And, of course, he's very creative with the puck. And that time, Dominic Hasek was ready for the hard slap shot. One thing I've noticed, and I commented earlier, the stamina, I think you have to question about Yashin. Also, he's been really manhandled by Buffalo. In other words, thrown to the ice on a number of occasions in this series. So that has to tell me also that not only is he perhaps tired, but he's not that strong in his skates.
Emerson winning the draw. It's tapped back into the corner. Emerson and Brown wrestling for it. Alfredson pries it free. He gets checked. But it's kept in by the Senators. Here's Emerson again, trying to slide it around on the boards. Brown attempting to pick it up. Kept in by McEachern. Back to the point. Long shot, nowhere near the net. Worked around on the boards, and Grosek or Sylvester didn't get it out of there. Ottawa has Buffalo hemmed at its own end. Less than 4 minutes remaining, and they'll get a face-off.
Well, Dominic Hasek, again, a busy man in the Buffalo net this evening. 42 shots on goal for the Senators. But Dominic has a rather good record when facing 40 or more shots in the playoffs. 42-26 to be exact. 6 wins, only 1 loss in playoffs. And Hasek has faced 40 or more. Randy Russ showing great confidence in Dean Sylvester, playing his first playoff game. And Lindy has gone, of course, with Pekka Verata Ward line, then the Brown Grosek Juneau line. And he's moved the other 6 players around. Primo's out there now. So different combinations of forward lines for Buffalo, particularly on the third line.
Senators holding it in as Redden moves up to try and tuck it into the corner. It's chopped but not out. Now it's cleared out by Woolley. And 3.5 minutes remaining on the clock. Ottawa trailing by 1 ball. Back to collect it behind the net and set up the play for the Senators. Accepts a return pass, getting it out ahead to Johansson. He'll flip it in. Hasek tees it up behind the net. Flipped it around on the glass, but didn't get it out. Bonk keeping it in. Johansson now drops it off. It's scooped, but not out. Kept in back at the point to York with a shot right in front of the net. Oh, whack at it again. Still poking at the puck. It's still lying there. Finally, Rasmussen gets it off the glass and bobbles it down the ice. And they're going to call this one icing.
Oh, that's ridiculous. Well, it's an icing call and a faceoff coming back in the Buffalo zone. But another great close call in the Buffalo zone. And Dominic Hasek again with some big saves.
Our independent health save of the game. Independent health quality coverage. You can depend on the scramble around Dominic Hasek, but somehow he manages to keep the puck out of the Buffalo net.
Again, that was because of a giveaway in the zone, that time by Rasmussen. Boy, the wingers must be absolutely certain that when the puck comes up the boards, that they get it across the blue line.
Warner charging into the corner, bumping with Arvidsson. Yashin trying to pry it free. Pekka keeping an eye on him, but the whistle will go. 2:48 remaining, third period.
Red Warner, Jay McKee getting the assignment to play against the big line of Ottawa. And of course, the emergence of Jay McKee has been huge to this hockey club as we check our NOCO Express scores around the NHL. New Jersey leading Pittsburgh 3-2, and Phoenix with a 2-1 lead over St. Louis.
Senators keep it in, but it's taken away by McKee. McKee off the glass to center ice. Knocked down by Kravchuk to Hossa. Hossa feeding it up to Yashin. He'll tuck it in over the line. Hossa charging after it. Warner got in front of him. Arvidsson stepped into Ward. Ward trying to work it into Pekka. Pekka flipped it, didn't get it. Goes after it again. Dribbled it around into the corner. Verata charging in there as he bumps with Yashin. It comes to the blue line, out and into Ottawa territory. Salo coming up with it now across to Kravchuk. Kravchuk wheels one in over the line, but Juneau is there for Buffalo. He got it out through center ice with a dangerous effort, and the Sabres complete a change. Picked up by Redden. 2 minutes remaining in regulation. Steered up on the wing. They'll jam it at center. Juneau taking it back. Juneau feeds it around behind the net. Kupnuk leaving it back there. Gets it around to the boards. Alfredson. He gets it across ice. Ottawa, the rush away to McEachern. McEachern slipping one into the corner. Zhitnik charges in there. Zhitnik got it around on the boards. Didn't get it out. Senators keep it in. Long shot. Skips wide of the net. Here's McEachern getting it in front. Juneau takes it away. Now it's slipped out to center ice. Sylvester charging after it. That one rolls back into Ottawa territory. A minute and a half remaining. Ottawa bringing it back again. Coming away to center, Alfredson. Alfredson spins one in. Kupnuk is out of the net, but he hasn't gone to the bench yet. Warner fires it around on the boards. That deflects and goes down the ice into Ottawa territory. 1:10 left in regulation time. Yashin coming up with the puck at his own line. He slips it away to center ice. It's left there, taken away by Verata. Got it off the boards. 1 minute to go. Cleared back in, and it deflects into the Buffalo bench. Kupnuk was trying to get to the bench and didn't make it.
Well, a great job in the last minute or so by Buffalo of keeping Ottawa on the retreat. And, of course, that's the key with the lead as the clock ticks off. And now, unfortunately for Ottawa, they have a faceoff just outside the Well, where's it going to be? Well, we'll have to wait, but Tugnut's going to have to remain in the net. And I'm sure someone will call a timeout. The brooms raining down onto the ice, and this is a great idea, but it's a very dangerous one because you don't want any players to get hurt. Some of those bristles come off the broom. They're easily stepped on, and you could have a serious injury. And this game is not won.
Oh, no.
It's a long way.
It's premature celebration is what it is.
And all this does is give, particularly the Ottawa Senators, a breather, and they should be taking advantage of it. Jacques Martin should have his team over there. Lindy Ruff calling his team over. And you try to take every edge in the game that you can and get a timeout without calling one.
58.8 seconds remain on the clock here in the third period. Buffalo a one-goal lead, 4-3, in an attempt to sweep the Ottawa Senators. Face-off outside the Sabres line. Pekka and Yashin. It slides back. Redden drills it in. Tugnut heads to the bench. Cleared around to the corner to McKee. He flipped it. Didn't get it out. Ottawa keeping it in. McKecker sends it back to the point again. And it's cleared across to Redden. His screen shot. That gets knocked down. And it's chipped out to center ice. 40 seconds remain. Steered back in the other direction. Arvidsson then gave it away to Warner. And Warner up to Ward. Ward sailing one in. Oh, just wide of the empty net. Stolen in the corner. Barada gets knocked down. Ottawa coming back again. Redden getting it out at center. Dumped in by Arvidsson. Hasek got it around the boards. Ward scoops it. Doesn't get it out. Goes after it again. He gets knocked down on top of the puck. And play is going to be held there. 15 seconds remain.
A smart play by Dixon Ward. He tried to initially backhand the puck out of the zone. It couldn't do it. And he did the smart thing. Rather than try to keep the play going, he ended up falling on the puck and holding it for a face-off. And it will be to the left of Hasek, and I'm sure that somebody's going to call a timeout here. I was just going to remark.
Well, they don't really have to, partner, because there's all kinds of debris on the ice.
Other stuff coming out there again, but it was interesting. The two youngsters, Jay McKee and Rhett Warner, played the last minute of hockey on defense for Buffalo, and not Schmelik and Jitnik. Buffalo with a 4-3 lead over the Ottawa Senators, and they just haven't been able to put Ottawa away. Buffalo opened the scoring as Eric Rasmussen scored his first of the playoffs. Václav Barada made it 2-0, but then Ottawa came back as they finally beat Dominic Hasek. Barada scores his second to give Buffalo again a 2-goal lead, but McEachran beats Dominic Hasek, and in the third period, Jitnik, a power play goal to make it 4-2, but then Nelson Emerson pokes home a loose puck in front, and that's where we are now. 15.1 seconds remaining, and this building is bonkers.
Oh, it's rocking.
And again, Jay McKee, Warner on the ice for this faceoff. Pekka will take it against Yashin to the left of Hasek.
15 seconds remain. Buffalo holding an edge in faceoffs on the game to this point. Pekka trying to chop it. Came back to the point. Kept in by Ottawa. The long screen shot wide of the net. Punch back into the corner. Came in front again. Knocked down Arvidsson. His backhand. Another whack at it in front. Pekka trying to swing it away. Into the corner it goes. This game is over. And the Buffalo Sabres have swept the Ottawa Senators. 4 straight games. 2 in Ottawa, 2 in Buffalo, and the Sabres head on in the Stanley Cup playoffs.
Well, partner, this was a series for the Ottawa Senators. One of the best teams in the NHL picked to win the Stanley Cup. They were the Titanic coming into this playoff series, and in Game 1, Dominic Hasek became the iceberg, because after that game, their ship filled with water and sank quickly. And it was a huge battle here tonight, but there were a number of reasons that Buffalo shakes hands the victors. First of all, the better players on Buffalo outplayed the better players in Ottawa, starting, of course, with Dominic Hasek. Michael Pekka That was one of the great stories of the series, and what a job he did on Alexei Yashin. And I think Lindy Ruff did an absolutely brilliant job of coaching, of getting the matchups that he wanted, even though Jacques Martin, of course, tried desperately to avoid that.
One of the nicest things and one of the things about hockey is the shaking of hands at the end of a Stanley Cup playoff series. And I'm sure that most of the Senators are congratulating the Sabres as they do shake hands and wishing them luck in the next round, whoever it might be against, and we have no idea who it might be against. I can tell you, however, tickets for the first 2 home games of round 2 will go on sale tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Get your tickets at the Marine Midland Arena box office, all Fantastics outlets located in Cops Friendly Markets, or call toll-free 1-888-223-6000. Those tickets for the next round on sale tomorrow morning at 9 a.m.
How about the job, too, of the Buffalo defense? Game 1, they had a terrible time containing Ottawa. The coaching staff made adjustments. The Buffalo defense settled down. And I thought, of course, Jay McKee, Rhett Warrener were outstanding. Zhipnik was great. I thought Richard Smellick was the best of everyone. And just a wonderful effort by the Sabre defense, and of course Dominic Hasek with the great series, winning it in 4 straight for Buffalo. And let's go down to Danny Garrett.
Thanks, guys. Here is Rhett Warrener. Rhett, the crowd's going nuts. You have to feel good about winning 4 straight against this Ottawa club.
Yeah, they're a good team. They played well all year, and Dom came up big for us this series. They got the job done, and it's going to be good to have a couple days off now.
Your mate that you worked a lot tonight with Jay McKee, you shut down Yashin. Tell us a little bit what you tried to do against him most of this series.
Well, he's a good player, and he had some bad breaks this series. We tried to take away his ice time and limit that as much as we could, and we were able to do that. So, good for us, tough for him.
Brett, congratulations. Look forward to the next series. Let's bring in Dominic Hasek. Dominic, an outstanding performance again here tonight. Dominic, were you a little worried at all as they came on in the second period?
Oh, yeah, I was worried the whole game, and we look a little bit tired today. We made more mistakes than the last 2 games, but we done the job, I didn't believe until the game was over.
Did you think that when you went into this series that you would have an opportunity to sweep this hockey club, the Ottawa Senators?
You know what, you never think about it, you expect a long series. You think about game by game. You cannot think about a sweeping, you can say sweeping until everything is over.
Dominic, the fans were unbelievable tonight. A good sweep. Enjoy the off time. I know you want to take a little time off.
Yeah, we need it. We have a couple of small injuries, and I feel great. But I like a little bit time off.
All right, upstairs to you guys.
Well, Dominic Hasek's night is just beginning because he's going to have to put up with that media wave.
Make the rounds tonight, I think.
Yes, they will.
May not get out of here for a while.
Media from all over North America coming to see the series that culminates here at the Marine Midland Arena with a 4-game Buffalo Sabres sweep. And I don't think any of us would have thought that to be possible when we started out on this trail.
Absolutely not. I mean, that was just a dream. A lot of people thought that the Ottawa Senators were going to win this series, and how about this? I mean, the last 3 series that the Sabres have played, they have swept 3 of those 4 series. 2 last year, of course, against the Philadelphia Flyers and then the Montreal Canadiens. And then tonight they eliminate the Ottawa Senators. And Danny Gare is ready with another guest.
Yeah, I'm here with Dixon Ward. And Dixon, your line did an unbelievable job against the Yashin line. Talk a little bit about the effort that this team put in throughout the series.
Well, it was amazing the way the guys pulled together. I said a long time ago that all you need to be successful is hope, and we've had hope all year with Dominic in the net. He gives us that hope, and it's just a matter of pulling together. And when we get to playoff time, everybody's focused on one goal and one goal only, and that's what this team does best.
You made some key plays today earlier in the game in regards to Lavrada's goals. You did that throughout the series, not only checking but offensively wise.
Well, we always think that we got to produce not only defensively but offensively for this team to win. So Peck's had a great series, and V stepped up tonight and did a great job leading us.
Well, I know you got a little time off. Enjoy it.
Thanks, Danny.
Upstairs to you, boys.
Well, obviously, the Buffalo Sabres, a very happy crew, and as Brett Warner mentioned a couple of guys are hurting a little bit, so this will give them an opportunity as they're going to have a few days off to do a little healing.